Wales and the All Blacks this weekend. It's rank number 2 against rank number 9 in the world. To be fair, I think it's two places that are, as terms of fans, generally not happy with their Rugby World rankings. Wales fans and All Blacks fans both crying out, for goodness sake, we've got trophies. How are we not ranked higher? Well, ultimately, it's the Six Nations champions hosting the Rugby Championship champions. So it should be a pretty tasty affair. Both teams without some of their big guns, but that's particularly true of Wales with an exceptionally long injury list. But we will go through the squads, some of the predictions, recent results, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on how this one is going to go. If you think you know, sign up to the Super Brew pool, which will be down in the description or the comments or something. We always have a Super Brew pool going. I have been doing remarkably well at the Super Brew stuff. Not to blow my own horn too hard, but Super Brew I have been doing rather well. So we'll see if that continues with the November matches. That pool hasn't quite started yet, but it gets underway in a few days. So it's free to play. Sign up if you think you know what's going on. But yeah, Wales, like I mentioned, they're without a few big guns. Faletau and Bigger and Sheedy and Rhys, all these guys who play in the Premiership are unavailable. Injury list is long. Tipperick's out, Navidi's out. You know, the list, it just goes on and on and on. But I still reckon they've named a pretty strong lineup. They got Wyn Jones, Ryan Elias, and Thomas Francis in the front row. I think Ken Owens had to pull out, which is pretty bloody unfortunate because, to be fair, Elias is generally down the Wales pecking order a wee bit. He's always there, but he doesn't get a heck of a lot of game time. I think he would have had less than an hour in this year's kind of campaigns for Wales. So, yeah, that's still two good props, though. Wyn Jones, Lion, and Thomas Francis has been playing for a champion Exeter Chiefs side. He's now back in Wales, so two pretty good props. Adam Beard and Alun Jones, you got two Lions there as well. So, you know, maul disruption from Adam Beard is a specialty, and Alun Jones has still got the hell of a work rate for a guy his age. Still younger than me. Moriarty, Basham, and Wainwright. It's maybe the one area that Wales are looking a wee bit light. It's a bit youthful, isn't it? Basham's kind of come onto the scene, hell of a work rate as well, but still a very young man. Wainwright's been around the scene a couple of years, and Moriarty is the more kind of veteran figure of the three, but certainly got the talent, just maybe not as much experience. Thomas Williams and Gareth Anscombe, 19 combo. Anscombe was out for a couple of years pretty much, I think, wasn't it? With injury, but he's back and he's been playing well for Ospreys, so good to see him there. And Thomas Williams, of all the Welsh halfbacks, is probably my favourite. He's very lively and got good distribution, so the All Blacks will need to be kind of wary of him. Johnny Williams and Jonathan Davies, the two Johnnies, I guess. Johnny Williams, he's a big unit, man. He's a sizable customer, so he may be looking to run at the All Blacks midfield because the All Blacks haven't really picked the largest midfielders. We don't have a kind of Laumapi style player at the moment. We're going for more of that kind of skills and distribution with Havili and ALB. But yeah, if Johnny Williams wants to do some crash ball stuff, we'll see if he gets any pay from it. Although Havili's defence in recent times, to be fair, has been pretty solid. Speaking of units, man, Owen Lane's on one wing. I'm excited to see him. He's not got a heck of a lot of game time at international level, but he's one of those guys who's large in size and fleet of foot. Like, not many guys that big can move that fast, but he is one. And Josh Adams has got the all-round game on the other wing, and Johnny McNicholl, former Crusaders man, is there at fullback. So hopefully that guy doesn't pick up an injury because he seems to be cursed. He's only got single digits Wales caps, but he always seems to pick up some kind of injury. So knock it on wood for good luck for him. Debutant in Myhill on the bench, but by no means an inexperienced guy. He's in his late 20s. Rhys, Carre, Dillon, Lewis. So solid kind of prop replacements. Will Rowlands for lock. Seb Davis as the other forward replacement. Three backs with Gareth Davis, Rhys, Priestland, and Ben Tomas, who's only got, I think, the one cap against, was it Wales? Not Wales, he is Welsh. Against Canada. Or, yeah, it must have been Canada because it wasn't Argentina, I think. But, yeah, so a little light in some areas. Alun Jones, congratulations to him. He's going to become, seemingly again, the most capped player He's going to pass Richie McCaw's record, this time I think excluding his British and Irish Lions caps, because he already passed it if you included those test caps, but this time just for Wales. He'll be at 149, so that's kind of massive stuff for him. But as I said, missing a few players are the Welsh for this one. For the All Blacks, they've not really, they've not held back with their picks. They've picked a pretty bloody strong team. Moody, Taylor and Lalala is maybe the strongest front row that they could play on this tour of guys that are kind of fit and available. Likewise, Retallick and Whitelock. I mean, Whitelock is behind Alun Wyn-Jones on caps, but not by that many. He's in the 120s. So also a kind of hugely experienced second row. Blackadder, Papali'i and Savia, maybe a little bit like the Welsh, is that the All Blacks back row is not hugely experienced. Papali'i's been around the blocks for a couple of years now, but he's not kind of been a regular guy, because Sam Cane is usually our captain at 7, but he is not playing for this one because he's only coming back from a long-term injury himself. Ethan Blackadder likewise is Bladder. He's been really impressive, but he's still very new onto the All Blacks scene. So Savia is by far the most experienced guy in the All Blacks back row. So it's kind of a similar matchup to what the Welsh have got, to be fair. Perenara and Barrett is the 19 combo. Those guys are hugely experienced together as a pair. They played hundreds of games together for the Hurricanes at Super Rugby level. Perenara's coming in for a little bit of stick in his play in recent times for the All Blacks. People believe that he's kind of dropping down in terms of the just the general distribution game. He certainly likes carrying it to the line, but sometimes maybe needs to focus on his core role. But we'll see. Him and Beauden have a really good understanding because they've just played together that many times. They don't play for the same teams anymore at Super level, but yeah. And speaking of guys with achievements, Beauden, it'll be his 100th test. So that's a heck of a lot of experience for him. So big congratulations. That's a big achievement. Havili and ALB is the midfield. Like I mentioned, more of a skills midfield than a kind of crash ball midfield. But Havili, who I have doubted slightly in the past to be defensively a bit suspect, has actually proved to be pretty solid. But he'll certainly be tested against Johnny Williams. Will Jordan has just got a phenomenal try-scoring record. If you're going to put money on someone to score a try, he's usually a pretty good bet because he comes pretty good. Rieko Ioane is also out there on the wing. He's been chopping and changing a bit with the midfield in recent times, but he's got his pace back. And yeah, I know Owen Lane's quick, but I think Rieko might be quicker. Hopefully we get a foot race between those two at some point. Jordie Barrett's there at fullback, so if you want to kick him high balls, do it, because he's like 6'5" and he can jump pretty high. So yeah, he's generally pretty safe there at the back. The bench, Taukei'aho, Tuinukuafe and Lomax. Lomax is maybe not our strongest scrummager, but Taukei'aho has been a proper big ball carrier when he comes on. Vaa'i is a little bit inexperienced in the locks, but he's been pretty good this tournament, seeing as he's had a proper chance, because Whitelock's not been mostly playing. He's had a chance to get some game time and looked impressive. Akira Ioane probably comes on at 6 or 8 when he comes on, but Savia can cover whatever position needs to if he moves. Weber, Mo'unga, and Rhys. Oh, man, that's a pretty dynamic looking 3 back replacements, to be honest. So yeah, we're still without Aaron Smith. We're still without Patrick Tuipulotu. We're still without Scott Barrett. Sam Cane. Sam Cane's still coming back from injury. He did play limited minutes against the US, but the other 3 guys are all back here in New Zealand doing parenting stuff. So without kind of 3 of our big guns as well. I think caps-wise, it's 886 to 729. I could be mistaken, but so the All Blacks not with a vastly more experienced pack, but I would say they've been able to pick at least a couple more kind of frontline guys. Average age between the squads seems to be about the same at 27. Most recent results between the teams, well, it's 5-0 to the All Blacks in the last 5, and that winning record for the All Blacks against Wales goes back a long, long way. The most recent result was at that Rugby World Cup, the 3rd place game. All Blacks won that one 40 points to 17. But both sides have got new coaches since then, so it's kind of all to play for. Average score across those 5 games, though, it's pretty comfortable with the All Blacks recently, 39 points to 17. I noticed Wales is kind of getting written off a wee bit And that may actually work well for Wales, I reckon, because these guys are going to maybe go into it with a little bit less pressure. If Wales had Faletau and Bigger and Rhys and whatnot, you may be thinking now is the time to break that record. But I don't know, they've been written off, so it seems like the perfect storm, but who knows. The predictions are well in favour of the All Blacks. Rugby Forecast says by 13, and the bookies are saying by 27 for the All Blacks. So, yeah, like I said, they are big-time favourites. The referee for this one is Matthew Reynal, so it's a French ref, so maybe that's a slight advantage to Wales in terms of being able to adapt to the ref a bit quicker. New Zealand teams traditionally struggle a wee bit to get used to it. 5:15 is the local kickoff. 12 hours difference means it's a 5:15 a.m. kickoff for us here in New Zealand, which is unfortunate, but we'll get up to watch it. The game's on Flow Rugby in the States if you guys want to watch. Link to that. If you want Lions gear, they're having sales. Link to that in the description as well. Happy days, folks. It's Wales against the All Blacks. Should be a big game. What do you reckon? Can Wales, with maybe slightly less pressure, or is there always pressure? I feel like it's slightly less pressure seeing as they have already been written off. The All Blacks have picked a strong team. They'll be looking to put in a strong result. But anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts, and I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.